Hey guys, welcome to BP, the Bible Perspective. Ravi Zacharias. I want to talk about, is he the same man before death or after death? Now, this is what I mean. Your perceptions of him, your feelings of him. Did they change after he died? And was he not the same person before he died? Now, before we unpack this, please like and share this video and subscribe to BP, the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a thought or comment, add it to the comment section below. Now, last year when Ravi Zacharias died, and now you're seeing that the fallout of this, mainly because his family, I think they're doing all they can to try to keep alive the remnant of his ministry. And I'll get back to that in a moment. Understand who he was. Now, he was a thinker. He was a very well-known apologist. Now, let me tell you the contribution of this in terms of from the Christian perspective. Apologists, or the field of apologetics, started in the Greek time, under the Roman times. In fact, Paul would even use the word himself in Philippians when he said that I'm giving a defense of the gospel. The idea that in the intellectual world of the Greek, of the Romans, there was a whole intellectual discipline, and they would get around and talk philosophy, and the term apologist was one who gave a defense of his perspective. Well, as time went on, there were intellectuals who became Christians, and they sought intellectual means to convert their fellow intellectuals. Thus, the field of apologetics was developed, and now it's kind of a major field within Christianity studies. In other words, if you go to a theological school, you can, I don't know if you can major in it, but you certainly can study apologetics. Now, apologetics, or apologists, basically depend upon reason. The intellectual reason, the logical point-by-point reason or logic to win a person. Now, to that, I would say that's one of their faults, because they depend too heavily on reasons. In other words, in their minds, if I make the right argument, the most logical and intelligent argument, by reason, people will come to the gospel. That's certainly not true. Jesus presented the most flawless arguments, backed up with signs and wonders. You still got the sinful man. But all right. Ravi Zacharias was one of these intellectuals. He was the intellectual giant in the world of apologetics. He would take on the subjects of presenting God in an intellectual way. Now, in some cases, that was his contributions. Now, I heard one criticism where they said, well, I never heard him really talk, too much about scriptures, because that's not what the whole point of his presentation was about. He didn't come waving and leafing through a big King James Version Bible. He would make intellectual reasoning. Now, that said, oftentimes the question is, with apologetics, they tend to lean too heavily on intellect itself, thinking that is what's going to win people, instead of the Holy Spirit opening the hearts of people. But he was very well respected. People loved to listen to him give his lectures, give his point of view, give his apologetics. In some cases, people even learn how to think and reason, and also give a formal apologetics. But now, the revelations of his sexual misconducts, people are rocked by that. And here's what I want to say, and I think it's worth to understand. Can we both be disappointed and yet also benefit from his mind as a thinker? And the answer is yes, we can. Remember, there were many great men of God who left this world in disgrace and left this world with a bad testimony in that there was stains on their records. David, for example, remember, will forever be known not only as an adulterer, but a murderer. Samson died in disgrace as a fornicator, a whoremonger. And we could go on and on. The sons of Israel literally were scoundrels, okay? The 12 tribes, okay? So my point is, we could literally go through the Bible and find men who were not worthy. But they did contribute to God's will. And that was one of the things. Remember Jacob himself, he was a scoundrel before he really matured. And so my point is the same as with Zacharias. We're going to celebrate his intellectual apologetics, while at the same time, yes, criticize and even condemn his sinful actions, and leave his eternity in the hands between him and God. All right, look, that's my perspective. Don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to BP, the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a thought or comment, add it to the comment section below. All comments are welcome. Till next time, I'll see you then.